I'm Maya, and let's create a concept for BLACKPINK because we all know we won't be getting one for a long time. So as you may know, their current creative director is Teddy, who is also their producer, and for a long time he has not been cutting it for me. I am tired of industrial backgrounds and swings and cars in every single one of their videos, so today I wanted to create something really new and original that I haven't seen in any other group for BLACKPINK. So this video will be broken up by each member: Jennie, Jisoo, Lisa, Rose, their background for this video, like the character they're going to be playing, and their styling. I was really inspired by the Bling Ring directed by Sofia Coppola and Ariana Grande's Thank You Next music video. For the concept, I imagine them to be in an American high school setting. They're seniors in a Y2K and kind of era, and they each have their own individual struggles, and as seniors they want to have their last FU to society, and pulling from the Bling Ring, they're going to do that by robbing and becoming criminals. How exciting for them. So for our first girl, we're going to be doing Jennie, and I'm sure you can already guess which like Y2K stereotype she is, because I've decided to stereotype them. So I'm gonna let you guess and take it a moment, soak it in. If you guessed Mean Girl, you are right. Popular Mean Girl. For Jennie's scene, I see it being set up with her driving a foreign car, doesn't matter which foreign car, pulling up, taking up 3 spots. Her license plate is her name, and it like zooms in on her license plate. And she doesn't have a backpack, she only has Kuma, and it's kind of man-eater in the background, and she's walking, and people like separate the C's for her. And that would be her intro scene. And I think in a way this embodies kind of how a lot of haters see Jennie being this prima donna rich girl, and I think it would be fun for her to be able to play on that and kind of reclaim that image for herself. For Jennie's struggle, I see her being quite lonely in her family life. In the video, I would love the shot to be her coming home to this big empty house. It's her birthday, there's a cupcake on the table, and a note by it saying, "Had to work late, love you man, do happy birthday." And I think this relates back to our actual Jennie in real life, because she talks a lot about how lonely her childhood was because she was sent away alone to New Zealand without her mother. And in the Netflix documentary, she talks a lot about how she's only been recently able to reconnect with her mother. So by playing this role, she'll be able to comfort her younger self and anyone else who may be feeling a similar way to her. And I think that's beautiful. So we all know Jennie is a fashionista in real life, and I would love to pull that from her real characteristics into this character for the concept, and dress her sort of like modern Sofia Coppola, Marie Antoinette. Lots of pastels. I see her being a trendsetter, but her style is so distinct and expensive that no one can really replicate the looks that she's wearing, making her an even more iconic popular girl because no one else can be her. Okay, now on to Jisoo. I also see her being quite popular, but not in the same way as Jennie. Jisoo would be more charismatic, everyone loves her, she's smart, running for class president, that kind of thing. I feel like her struggle would be that she is getting cheated on, sorry to say. In this concept, I imagine her to be the head cheerleader, possibly dating the captain of the football team. And for the shot in the video, I imagine it to be her at a party with him. She can't find him. She's looking around. She's going up the stairs, up and down the stairs, asking people, where is he? And she opens up a door to find him doing something that he shouldn't be doing. And she has to kind of grapple with the fact that she's now alone. And she goes to the bathroom and has her cry and her freak out, and she just looks at herself and smiles. She heads back out, walks right past the door that he's in, because she has to continue this facade of this good, happy home life for herself. People will imagine her to have a great personal life. That's how she's presented herself for such a long time at school. and I think it would be hard for her to kind of break away from him and make this whole new life for herself and this whole new image for herself, especially so late in her high school career, that she just has to continue until the end, or that's how she feels. For Jisoo's fashion, I expected her to be wearing preppy looks, but in all honesty, there are no cute preppy looks. If you search preppy on Pinterest, you're most likely going to find a VSCO girl, and Jisoo in this is not a VSCO girl. So I chose instead fun, quirky prints and imagery in the clothing, but classic silhouettes, very similar to Kina and Tam, which is very trendy right now. She would walk a cute sweater vest for them. I can totally imagine it. Now on to Lisa. I wasn't quite sure what stereotype to give her, especially with the role I'm kind of creating for her. So I kind of combined the two of artistic and tomboy, arts boy. For her backstory and the way I would love for this to be shot is we understand in this concept that she's also a dancer like she is in real life, and she has a major competitor. She's heading to an audition against this competitor to choreography to Womanizer. I would love it to be to Womanizer, just to fit into this whole 2000s thing. And she's killing it, obviously, and she's getting a lot of attention from one of the judges, and the competitor does not like that, and they sabotage her, and she has to leave and go home because she can't continue. She messed up, like it's time for her to go. And when she gets home, it's quickly understood that she has a family member who was sick but was also a competitive dancer, and Lisa is trying to carry out this dream for both her and her family member, and we see her talking to her family member, telling them how good her audition was. But in reality, we all know that it wasn't, and she spends the rest of the night practicing, trying to perfect this role. For Lisa's fashion, it's very artsy tomboy, very sporty as well. Now for my bias, Rose. Can you see her? Oh my god, I have a stuffy of her. She's so cute. Stream on the ground. For Rose's stereotype, I see her being a modest church girl, very family oriented, very good at school, is in the choir, and her family is so loving that it's almost kind of controlling her image in a way. She doesn't care. She doesn't really realize it until one day she meets someone who has a kind of Lauren is alone vibe, is how I imagine it. The way I would love it to be shot is she's riding her bicycle and she looks over and it's them and they wink at her. And suddenly we see her having this whole makeover scene where she isn't herself anymore, or the person that we thought she was, and she slowly becomes the person that this Lauren is alone character is. The way I would love this to be shot is, you know, she has the makeover scene and then we see her after a long string of just not being able to relate to her family anymore, and she is in front of her vanity, she's taking off her makeup, and the old her appears in the mirror and they scare her. But you know, that's not her either. She's so confused and she gets up and she looks around and it's all these different versions of Rose, ones that we've seen in her past, ones that we haven't, and she opens up the door to see her younger self, and her younger self has to guide her to find her true self. I think this relates to our real Rose because in On the Ground, we see her revisit her younger self, which is crazy because I've thought of this before On the Ground came out. She's On the Ground. And just this idea of you're so focused on something else, like in On the Ground, being a celebrity, being the best, and in this, being a better version, not a better version, but a different version of yourself for someone else, that in both of those things you become so lost that you can no longer relate to who you really were, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And for her fashion, I imagine a very warm-toned color palette similar to Lisa. Lots of maxi skirts, braids, kind of witchy farm girl. I haven't thought of like what her look would be like for when she meets Lauren is alone. So if you have any ideas of that, like what would you want her to wear, let me know down below. Editing my hair. I did a terrible job explaining how these girls meet in this video in the end, so I wanted to redo that. Um, Basically, I see them meeting at Jisoo's party, where she's getting cheating on, and they all kind of meet up outside, and they're all sad and they're talking, and Jennie is the leader. She is the ringleader of this, and it's like a circular shot. It turns around to see all of them, and Jennie's like, do you guys want to do something fun? And then they drive away in her little car, Jennie license plate, and it cuts to like a montage of them robbing, throwing money, stuff like that. That's what I want. That's the vibe. And I go on to explain this for like 4 more minutes in this video, so I'm cutting it short to this 51-minute clip. 51 minutes, 50 seconds. Let me know down below, do you like this concept? Do you see Blackpink doing a high school baddies turned criminal concept? Would you watch it? Would you like it? Let me know down below. Thank you! My bitch drive all white, couldn't hit it if